you ready to go to bed? Okay. Now, are you ready for tonight's book? Okay. Tonight, I thought we might read How to Be an Earthling, Spork Out of Orbit. Now, I have not read this book. I got this from the library. So I know, well, I don't know. Have you read this book? Have you? No. Okay. Well, this will be an adventure for both of us. It is by Nan Walker and illustrated by Jessica Warrick. Keep an eye out for them. All right. There's Spork. All right, let's see who everybody is. So we have Spork. This is Trixie. This is Grace. This is JoJo. Looks like a hamster. A picture of a flying saucer. Newton. Jack. And Miss Buckle. That's the teacher, I bet. All right. Report to troop. Beep. Beep.
Is this thing on? Oh, okay. Hey, you guys. I'm here. I am about to land. I've reached my planet, and I found a training center. I am going to learn everything about the way they do things here. Yes, sir. That solo explorer badge is mine. I know you're thinking of the time we all went camping in that spiral galaxy. Honestly, I still have no idea how my pod got loose and drifted into space. And sure, there was that other time I blew up the troop leader's... never mind. Accidents happen, right? The point is, this time is going to be different. This time is going to be perfect. I'm right over the training center now. I've got my landing all set up. I'm going to touch down as lightly as a... crash. Oops. He's part of the Galaxy Scouts. Right. Looks like Trixie, Newton, and Grace. Greetings, Earthlings. Trixie drummed her feet. She tapped her fingers on the desk. She glanced out the window at the playground. Then she looked at her word puzzle and sighed. Word puzzles on Wednesdays, math games on Mondays, spelling bees on Fridays. If only something different would happen. It was as big as a car, but flatter and rounder. It was a flying saucer. Trixie yelled. Trixie, please raise your hand instead of... Miss Buckle's eyes went to the window. Oh my, she said. Oh my. The classroom had a door that opened to the playground. Everyone ran out the door. Trixie reached the flying saucer first, but before she could touch it, Newton grabbed her arm. It might be dangerous, he said. That's not a real spaceship, Jack scoffed. I bet it blew out of somebody's yard. He kicked it. The bubble-shaped top flipped open, and an orange alien popped out. Greetings, Earthlings, he said in a squeaky voice. Ah! Jack yelled, jumping back. Ah! The alien squeaked and fell off the flying saucer. He lay on his back, arms and legs wiggling. To Trixie, he looked like a giant bug. Grace helped the alien up. "Are you okay?"
"Happens to me all the time,"
the alien said cheerfully.
"Now, where was I? Oh, right. Greetings, Earthlings. I've come to your Earthling Training Center to learn all about your Earthling customs."
"Earthling Training Center?" Trixie repeated. Newton whispered,
"I think he means school."
The third graders buzzed with excitement. "An alien in our class! Even the fifth graders don't have an alien. Please, Miss Buckle, can we keep him? Please." Miss Buckle frowned. "I really don't think..." "Ugh," the children groaned. Trixie bit her lip. She had wished for something different to happen in third grade. An alien landing was about as different as it got. He just had to be allowed to stay. "He can sit with us," she told Miss Buckle. "Right, Newton?" Newton shot a nervous look at the alien, but nodded. Miss Buckle said, "That's not..." "And think of all the stuff that we could learn from him," Trixie went on. "I mean, I've never been to any other planet except Earth. Have you?" "Well, no, I haven't," the teacher smiled. "All right, I guess we can give it a try." Turning to the alien, she said, "Welcome to our Earthling Training Center." Everybody cheered. Trixie was so glad she had been looking out the window when the flying saucer landed. There's the picture from the playground. But she didn't think she would be looking out the window much anymore. Not with a space alien in her class. Alien plus school equals fun. Chapter 2. Cosmic. "My name is Beatrix," Trixie told the alien as Miss Buckle herded everyone inside. "But everybody calls me Trixie. What's your name?" The alien smiled. "My name is..." He made a long, hissing, spitting, hacking noise. Trixie tried to repeat it.
Spork.
"What kind of a name is that?" Jack scoffed. "Sounds like a ferret throwing up." Trixie scowled at Jack. "Jack, that's not the way we speak to each other in this classroom," Miss Buckle said. She pointed to the poster hanging near the chalkboard. "We treat each other with respect, remember?" The alien scanned the poster eagerly.
"Look at all these interesting Earthling customs. Keep our hands to ourselves. Wait till the other scouts hear that."
Respect means following directions, raising our hands to speak, paying attention to our work, keeping our hands to ourselves, saying please and thank you, taking care of property, treating others as we would like to be treated. The golden rule. Him saying his name. "Don't you have that rule on your planet? Spork?" Miss Buckle asked.
"We don't need it."
The alien held up his hands.
"Our hands don't come off."
The third graders laughed. "Ours don't come off either," Grace explained. "Keeping your hands to yourself means don't grab or poke."
"Oh,"
Spork said. Trixie couldn't tell if he was disappointed or relieved. Miss Buckle asked the alien to come to the front of the room to tell the class about himself. Spork explained that he was a Galaxy Scout trying to earn his Solo Explorer badge. "How many badges do you have so far?" Grace asked.
Well, actually, not so many.
Spork admitted.
In fact, none.
I've already earned 2 badges, and I've only been a Pee-wee Scout since August, Jack bragged.
Cosmic.
Spork said.
What for? Deep sea diving? Rocket races?
Decorating a bookmark, Jack mumbled, and checking my dog for fleas. Spork told the class about the other planets he had visited with the Galaxy Scouts.
And then there was this one time we took a field trip to the moon of Mercury.
Jack jumped up. You couldn't have. I watched a TV show about the solar system, and it said Mercury doesn't even have a moon. Spork turned a deeper shade of orange. Trixie thought he was blushing.
No,
he agreed, looking ashamed.
Not anymore.
Does that mean what I
think it means?
Newton whispered to Trixie.
Yikes.
Trixie grinned. Third grade was definitely different with an alien in the classroom. Spork mistook the class hamster, Jojo, for a small, furry third grader. He thought crayons were a chewy treat, and when Miss Buckle turned from the board with a piece of chalk in her raised hand, Spork dove under the table. Trixie leaned down. What are you doing? Cautiously, Spork looked up.
Isn't she gonna throw that chalk? Do teachers on your planet throw things at you?
Newton asked the alien.
Of course.
Spork crawled out.
That's how we learn.
Jack crossed his arms. How could that possibly help you learn?
We learn to duck,
Spork said.
It's very useful for avoiding flying space rocks.
Everyone laughed, except for Jack. Even Miss Buckle smiled. Spork, I try to follow the golden rule, she said, pointing to the respect poster, and I would not like to have anyone throw chalk at me. It was the weirdest, most exciting school day ever, and Trixie didn't want it to end. She had to think of some way to get Spork to stay. At morning recess, everybody swarmed around the flying saucer. Spork let the children climb all over it. He even let them take turns sitting in his pilot seat. When Trixie slid into the seat, her foot kicked something that rolled squishily away. She reached down and picked up what looked like a small balloon filled with Jell-O. "What's this?" she asked, tossing it down to Spork.
Whoa!
Spork caught it and set it gently on the ground under the flying saucer.
Careful with that gloop. You don't want it to burst.
"Gloop?" Trixie asked.
Don't you have that here?
Spork said.
Gloop fixes everything. It's great when I, land with a bit of a bump.
Trixie looked over the flying saucer. "Did you break something when you crashed?" Spork turned a deeper orange again. He glanced around.
Did everyone see me crash?
"Just me, I think," she said. The orange faded slightly.
Oh well, my ship might not exactly be space-worthy right now, but with a little gloop, it will be good as new.
When the bell rang, the children ran to line up by the door. Spork shut the bubble top and dashed after them. Trixie was about to follow when she spotted the gloop lying on the ground. "Spork," she called, but he didn't hear her. She picked up the gloop and started towards him. Then she stopped. Spork said he would need the gloop to fix the flying saucer before he left Earth. so if he didn't have the Gloop, he'd have to stay. Trixie stuffed the Gloop into her coat pocket and ran to catch up with the class. "I'll give it back," she told herself. "Just maybe not right away." A bellyful of Gloop. Trixie hung her coat in her cubby and sat down, but she couldn't focus on her work. Every time Spork glanced towards the cubby, she wondered if he knew what she had done. Did Spork have X-ray vision? Could he see inside her coat? She imagined the Gloop glowing brighter and brighter until everyone could see it. She kept twisting in her seat to make sure it wasn't true. "Trixie, do you need something from your cubby?" Miss Buckle asked. Trixie turned back around. When the bell rang for lunch, Trixie was first in line. She couldn't wait to get out of the classroom, away from the hidden Gloop. Spork loved the cafeteria, even after Grace explained that he wasn't supposed to slide his tray along the metal racks. He was supposed to slide his tray along the metal racks, not ride it. His tray... And when he saw the chicken nuggets, he squeaked happily, "Space fungus, yum." Similarities between chicken nuggets and space fungus. Chicken nuggets, space fungus. Bumpy surface, check. Spongy texture, check. Irregular shape, check. Salty, check. Good with honey mustard, check. Tastes like chicken, check. Trixie and her friends led Spork to their usual table. Other children squeezed in too, asking Spork a zillion questions. "Is everybody on your planet orange? How old do you have to be to get a flying saucer? Are you homesick yet?" Trixie picked at her lunch. She felt as if she had a belly full of Gloop. She thought about the first time she had been invited to sleep over at Grace's house. As soon as Grace's mom turned out the lights, Trixie felt so homesick she began to cry. Grace was disappointed, but she got the phone so Trixie could call home to be picked up. She didn't hide the phone so Trixie would be forced to stay. "But I didn't want to leave the planet," Trixie told herself. "It's not the same." And at afternoon recess, all the children ran to play on the flying saucer again. Trixie sat on the monkey bars alone. She watched Spork, waiting for him to realize his Gloop was gone. But he didn't seem to think of it at all. Back in the classroom, Trixie was careful not to look towards her cubby. She tried to push the Gloop out of her mind. Then Miss Buckle told the class it was time to drop everything and read, just as Spork was carrying a tub of markers to the shelf.
"Okay,"
Spork said, and dropped the tub. As the markers rolled across the floor, the children scrambled to help pick them up. Miss Buckle closed her eyes and shook her head.
"Did I do something wrong?" Spork asked Trixie. "I was just following direction."
He pointed to the respect poster.
"I guess I still have a lot to learn about your Earthling rules."
Trixie looked at the poster. Had she been treating Spork with respect when she hid his Gloop? Was that how she would want to be treated? How would she like to be stuck on a strange alien planet with no way of getting home? Maybe Spork wasn't the only one who had a lot to learn about respect. Trixie made up her mind. She ran to her cubby, then back to Spork. "I took your Gloop." Her eyes stung as she pushed it towards him. "I'm sorry." The startled alien reached for the Gloop just as Trixie let go. They watched it fall.
Uh-oh.
Spork squeaked. 5. Gloop fixes everything. Boom. A light flashed, blinking. Trixie found herself sitting on the floor. She looked around. The classroom looked changed somehow. "Hey," one of the boys exclaimed. "My shirt got tucked in, and my shoes are tied." An instant later, everyone was yelling, "Look at the reading corner. The books are all in ABC order. How did my cubby get so neat? My old pencil grew a new eraser. These jeans had a hole in the knee. Where did it go? Look at my math worksheet. I got half the answers wrong, and now they're right." What's happening? I'm so sorry about that. Light was in your eye. Trixie stood up. "What happened?" she asked Spork.
I told you,
The alien said.
Gloop fixes everything.
"But why were you so worried?" Trixie asked. "Isn't that good?" Spork pointed.
Jojo doesn't think so.
The hamster crouched in the corner of the cage, glaring at a large chunk of wood. "Where did that—" Trixie trailed off as she realized the Gloop had fixed Jojo's wood shavings back into wood. "That's not so bad," Trixie said.
Yeah, but you never know what Gloop will fix if you're not careful,
Spork said.
One time, I dropped Gloop in an asteroid belt and, well, I almost got kicked out of the Galaxy Scouts.
The mention of the Galaxy Scouts reminded Trixie of what she had done. She hung her head. "Now that your Gloop exploded all over the classroom, there isn't any left to fix your flying saucer, and it's all my fault."
Oh, don't worry about that, Spork said. I've got more Gloop.
You do?" she asked. The alien nodded.
I use a ton of it. My troop leader says Gloop was made for me.
Spork paused.
I wonder what he means by that.
Trixie's mind whirled. So Spork wasn't stuck on Earth after all. She was relieved, but also sad. She looked up at the clock. Any second now, the bell would ring for the end of the day, and Spork would have to go. Trixie sniffled.
Goodbye, Spork. I hope you get your solo explorer badge. Goodbye? He asked. Are you leaving?
No, you are, Trixie said. Didn't you say you only had one day? Spork looked puzzled. Then he brightened.
Oh, you thought I meant one Earth Day, but your days are so short. One Earth Day isn't nearly long enough to learn your customs and earn my solo explorer badge.
You mean on your planet the days are longer? Trixie asked. Spork nodded.
Much longer. One of our days is the same as a few weeks on Earth. He frowned. Or was it months? Or years? I knew I should have paid a better attention in the Milky Way math.
Trixie looked around the room. Mrs. Buckle had most of the children calm down, although Jack was still complaining. But I liked my backpack with the zipper broken. It had been the weirdest, most exciting, most different day ever in 3rd grade. Trixie thought happily. And best of all, tomorrow might be even weirder. Spork was here to stay.
Report to troop. Beep, beep, beep. Huh, the light on my transmitter isn't going on. I must have boinked it when I crashed. Good thing I've got plenty of gloop to fix it with. I've got a lot to tell my troop. Of course, I probably don't need to tell them everything. I mean, those crayons looked delicious. Anybody would have made that mistake. And I won't say anything about the mess I made when I dropped all those markers, because that wasn't even my fault. How was I supposed to know the teacher didn't really mean drop everything? Hey, wait. When did the lights go on? You guys heard all that? I was just kidding. Really? Haha.
Alright. Well, that was book 1 in How to Be an Earthling. Maybe we can read book 2 at some point. But it's time for you to go to bed because it's late. Bet you're wide awake now. Well, sleep well. I'll talk to you later. Maybe in the morning. Maybe I'll make pancakes. No pancakes, waffles. Oh, don't be greedy. Waffles it is.